9 residents of Migori County have written to the Judicial Service Commission seeking the removal of Supreme Court Judge Jackton Ojwang. The villagers who lost in the Supreme Court in a land dispute case with the Migori County government claim the judge was biased and that he allegedly received a favour from the county government in the form of refurbishment of a road leading to his rural home in Migori. KTN's Mwangi begins our coverage with a petition seeking the removal of yet a second Supreme Court judge over alleged corruption.
Less than a month after the Judicial Service Commission recommended investigation of Supreme Court Judge Philip Tunoi of the now infamous 200 million shillings bribery saga, a second petition seeking the removal of yet another Supreme Court judge has landed at the JSC, this time Justice Jackton Ojwang. And it has all to do with the construction of a feeder road by the Migori County government connecting Justice Ojwang's rural home in Uriri, Migori County to the Kakrao-Ogwethi Road in 2014, at a time when Justice Ojwang was among the 5 Supreme Court judges hearing an appeal emanating from an 11-year-old land dispute between a group of villagers from Migori and the former Awendo Town Council. The villagers lost in the case, and 9 of them have now written to the Judicial Service Commission seeking the removal of the judge, whom they say may have been biased in the case, as Uriri sub-county, where he comes from, is also home to Migori Governor Okoth Obado, whose county government was the main applicant in the dispute. In an accompanying affidavit to the petition presented before the JSC on March 11th, one of the petitioners, Nelson Odwor Onyango, claims that the construction of the said feeder road was a blatant diversion of public resources and amounts to corruption and abuse of office, a basis upon which he and 8 others want the JSC to unseat the judge over alleged gross misconduct. The genesis of Justice Ojwang's present tribulations hail from a ruling entered by the Supreme Court on May 6th last year, when the highest court on the land allowed the Awendo Town Council to file an appeal against the issuance of title deeds to a group of Migori squatters whose land had been forcibly acquired by the defunct Awendo Town Council for the purpose of setting up a sugarcane plantation. The fate of Justice Ojwang now lies with the Judicial Service Commission, which is mandated by the Constitution to review the petition and either dismiss it or forward it to the President if it discloses a ground for the removal of a judge from office. Already, the fate of his fellow judge, 72-year-old Philip Tunoi, is before a 7-member tribunal, which was set up by President Uhuru Kenyatta on the recommendations of the Judicial Service Commission. And this petition to remove Justice Ojwang dents the highest court in the land even further, at a time when Supreme Court President Chief Justice Dr. Willy Mutunga is set to retire in June. His deputy, Kalpana Rawal, is still grappling with a court case where she is opposed to a JSC decision to retire her at the age of 72 instead of 74, which she says was her retirement age as stipulated in the former constitution under which she was employed. Murimi, Mwangi, KTN News, Nairobi.